Kazakhstan and Indonesia are strengthening bilateral cooperation and expanding economic and cultural ties. Last year, the two countries celebrated the 25th anniversary of their diplomatic relations. According to the ambassador of Indonesia to Kazakhstan, Rahmat Pramono, the partnership between the countries has reached a high level. Bilateral trade indicator increases every year. The countries are also actively developing investment cooperation. Indonesian companies plan to invest in Kazakhstan's pharmaceutical and mining industries.
In terms of trade, I must say that it's increasing every year. In 2017, our bilateral combined trade is reaching almost 53 million US dollar, and in 2018, our trade is reaching almost 60 million US dollar, and this year. Fortunately, in the last 3 months, the first quarter, our bilateral trade has already reached 143 million. So it's a big increase.
Cultural dialogue between the countries is also being actively developed. Indonesian Cultural Center has been operating in Nur Sultan for 3 years. There are sessions that taught national dances and traditional musical instruments. The center also offers language courses. The Embassy of Indonesia and the Cultural Center regularly organize various events to contribute to the strengthening of partnership of the two countries.
This year we will have our independence celebration in August. 17th of August, but our formal reception will be on the 20th of September. And as in the past, we are going to invite cultural performance coming from Indonesia. And like also in the past, besides holding this cultural performance at the reception, we also try to hold this cultural performance in other areas. Like last year we have it in Kanchatir, and also we have it in Eurasian University. So hopefully this year we will also be able to showcase our cultural performances in other areas aside of the formal reception.
Education is another important area of cooperation between the two countries. Indonesia provides various scholarships for Kazakh students through which they can study for a master's degree in Indonesian universities as well as learn the language and culture of the country. Kazakhstan is exporting watermelons to its neighboring Russia. There is a special high demand of the striped berries from Kizilorda region. This year, there are an unprecedented number of harvests. Half of the harvests are collected. The watermelons are planted on 650 hectares of land. Local scientists and farmers are responsible for the fruit's rich taste and color. By conducting agrochemical soil analysis, we help farmers to obtain a highly productive crop. So science supports the development of family business in rural areas and farming. The agricultural products from Kizilorda region are popular in Russia's Tyumen, Chelyabinsk, Kurgan and Magnitogorsk. More than 1,000 tons of organic berries have been shipped to these markets directly from the farms. The cost of watermelons depends on the period of their maturation. The fruits are more expensive in early summer and cheaper in August. The work of farmers is in demand. On average, melon growers spend about 100 to 110,000 tenge per hectare. And from 1 hectare, they receive an average of 30 tons of watermelons. Multiply by 20 tenge and calculate the difference. However, the melon growers are not planning to stop harvesting. In the near future, they plan to launch a workshop for the production of watermelon juice with German businessmen. The products will also be exported. The Cooperation Council of Turkic-speaking countries will take part in the One Caspian Economic Forum. It will be organized on August 12 in Turkmenistan. Representatives of this international organization will also become participants in the Caspian Exhibition of Innovative Technologies and other events that will be organized as part of the forum. Topics of strengthening and developing Tajik-German relations were discussed in Dushanbe. The countries signed financial cooperation agreements for 2017 until 2019. The total amount of interaction is amounted to 27 million euros. The funds will be used to implement projects in order to strengthen rural development and construction of the Sebzor hydroelectric station. The plant capacity of a small hydroelectric power station is estimated at 10 megawatts. The Eurasian Development Bank will support implementation of the project in Tajikistan. In July, the EDB, Kazakhstan State Export Insurance Department, and the Tajik Railways signed an agreement of understanding under which acquisition of new locomotives is planned. The project is worth $40 million. In August, the cooperation agreement in tourism between Uzbekistan and Turkey entered into force. The agreement is aimed at expanding the cooperation in industry, jointly attracting investments in development of tourism infrastructure, as well as familiarizing citizens of two countries with achievements in science, culture, nature, history, traditions, and sites. Moreover, in accordance with the agreement, the parties will promote joint tourist routes and brands, including the Great Silk Road. Efficient use of water resources is one of the UN goals in sustainable development. This topic remains relevant for Central Asian countries. The region is cooperating in the field of water use. Along with local programs aimed at conservation of natural resources, international grants are also allocated. Kazakh farmer Tlyugabil Yesenbekov was one of them to win the grant. At the expense of funds allocated under the UN program, the farmer is restoring the reservoir. The dam was eroded in 2015 and the reservoir disappeared from the map of the region. Nearby farms were in a difficult situation without irrigation water. In recent years, there have been many degraded pastures. Nobody wants to go to Jailao, which is located offshore. If we can restore the dam, then everyone, including neighbors and other farmers, can use this water in order to water the animals. Secondly, liman is needed. The water that will be collected, forming a reservoir, will contribute to the growth of plants. The Pharmacist Initiative to restore the reservoir is also supported by the management of natural resources. Experts highlighted that such projects are important for the region. Over the past 5 years, 50 reservoirs have been restored at the expense of the regional budget. 96 million tenge are required for restoration of the reservoirs. 31 reservoirs were restored last year. The grant allocated by the UN Development Program is amounted to $30,000 US. Tlyugabil Yesenbekov is sure that after restoration of the dam, water will pour, which will allow the growth of nearby farms. The farmer is planning to raise fish in the reservoir. Young Kazakh scientists have developed a new strategy to manufacture a device that helps to purify drinking water in a simple process. Despite its small size, which can be fitted easily in a pocket, the device is able to process up to 50 liters of water per day. A filter has been installed on the sample. The device can be used for water purification, even in laboratories or factories. The installation of the device has no similarities in the country. The developers received local and Eurasian patents.
тек суды тазартуға емес, сонымен қатар басқа да сұйықтықтарды тазартуға мүмкіндік береді.
The device cleanses not only water but also other liquids. In the future, this will create batteries that operate on a liquid basis. This will also be used in medicine. We're improving the methods of filtering water through acoustic waves.
Суды фильтрдан өткізудің әдістерін жетілдірудеміз.
Сейчас идет разработка наносенсорики на основе наших.
We are currently developing nanosensors based on our track membranes. By using these sensors, we can see a very low metal content in the solution as well as ultra low concentrations.
Содержание, получается, металлов в растворе, сверхнизкие концентрации.
Inventions of the Kazakh young scientists are recognized in the international arena. Recently, a project of Nazarbayev University students was recognized as the best at an international competition in Barcelona. Traditionally, the young scientists from different parts of the world present their works. A domestic electric scooter with a battery capacity of 150 watts is able to travel 20 kilometers. It also met the requirements of the prestigious competition. Moreover, the developers continue to improve their development.
Бұл скутердің эргономикасы тексеріледі, сонымен қатар бизнес-план, және де мысалға
The ergonomics of these scooters was tested. It passed another test in the rain, under which it could stand for a minute. The ability to move was tested as well, including speed and how many kilometers it can travel. In addition, maneuvering was tested. According to results of all tests, we won the first place.
Сол тесттерден қорытындысы бойынша біз бірінші орын алдық.
Біздің скутерімізді смартфонға жасалған программамыз.
Our scooters have an app for smartphones. This means that the user can only control it through this program. By typing the password via Bluetooth, the scooter can be turned on. Other people will not be able to use it.
Одан кейін скутерға қосылып жүре алады, яғни басқа адам жүзе алмайды.
The trend of recent years is that young scientists unite in teams and jointly create breakthrough innovative projects. Today, the work of the innovators is actively supported by the Kazakh government. To date, young scientists comprise 40% of all scientists in the country. Archaeologists have discovered another amazing discovery in the settlement of Burno-Oktyabrskoye in Jambil region. The finding is of an ancient human skull, which presumably dated back to the 2nd century BC. Ukrainian scientists will help to determine the exact age, gender, and era of the skull. Bone fragments were sent to a specialized laboratory for examination.
3 метрлік тереңдіктен адамның басы шықты, басқа сүйектері жоқ. Алғаш кезде дәнүгіт тастар.
At a depth of 3 meters, we found the skull of an ancient man. This is an unexpected find. We also found jugs and hand grinder. Thanks to these items found, we can find out about how our ancestors lived. I think that this settlement is very unique in our country, and I am glad that I took part in the excavations of the ancient settlement. The Burno-Oktyabrskoye settlement is known as Barkwab in Arabic chronicles, although it is an unverified theory. In 1895, the first official description of the city was given by Russian Orientalist Vasily Bartol. The scientists divided it into 3 parts. Now each of the area is undergoing archaeological excavations. Among the findings include a piece of molten slag. Researchers said that this indicates that the furnace for the manufacture of pottery was once located here. Archaeologists first conducted underground excavations in order to preserve the original appearance of the settlement and protect the area.
Полностью сохранились стены, сохранился потолок в виде купола. Потолок здесь куполообразный. Если посмотреть...
The walls are completely preserved. The ceiling in the form of a dome is preserved and the ceiling here is domed. If you look here, the wall goes there and it is already above the masonry of raw bricks and not in a horizontal position in a herringbone pattern. The soil is packed with rubble of mud brick. Why? Because when the people left this place, they did not completely abandon the building as they hoped to return someday. Local archaeologists suggest that the object dates back between the 2nd and 1st century BC, and it is one of the largest summer residences of the Kangyu leaders. However, Japanese researchers are inclined towards another date.
Заложили еще дополнительные шурфы и на глубине 3-4 метров взяли угольки и почву.
Additional pits were laid at the depth of 3 to 4 meters. They took coal and soil and sent it to Japan, to the city of Naru University, where Japanese experts made a carbon analysis and determined that the age of these coals as 1,656 years. Somewhere around the 4th century AD, we found that the cultural groups of the 10th to 13th centuries are not the last groups, as the city is ancient. For several years during the excavation of the Burno-Oktyabrskoye ancient settlement, archaeologists found 3,500 artifacts. They confirmed that the Kanguis were nomads and farmers. The excavation works are carried out within the modernization of Kazakhstan's identity program. After the completion of the research, an open-air museum will be opened here. The findings have been listed in the map of sacred places in Jambil region, and it will be included in the regional list. Experts believe that the unique historical place will become popular among tourists. The number of participants of a challenge dedicated to the 175th anniversary of the great Kazakh poet and thinker Abay Kunanbayev increases every day. The challenge, which has become international, was supported in Kyrgyzstan and Azerbaijan, Tatarstan and Russia, France and Japan, as well as the USA. Speaker of the Legislative Chamber of the Oli Majlis of Uzbekistan, Nurdin Jon Ismoilov, read an excerpt of the work in Uzbek language. He stressed the symbolism of the poetic marathon in the year of Kazakhstan in Uzbekistan, which is is a symbol of friendship, cultural and spiritual community of the Uzbek and Kazakh people.
Bir yerde birge yursan boshing qo'shib, bir-biringga so'zlagin qalbdan jo'shib, bir-biringni hurmat etgil, izzat etgil, turmagin bir-biringdan qo'rqib, cho'chib.
The literature challenge was also supported at the Aisha Bibi Kazakh National Cultural Center in Semaim. At the renovated yurt near the House of Friendship, national dishes were prepared, songs were sang and poems of the great poet were recited. There were about 10 popular and forgotten works of Abay. Today, we see that the whole world has joined together to read the poems and works of the great thinker. This shows that the work of Abay Kunanbayev is known to everyone. Kazakhstan's national satellite channel, Kazakh TV, is available via TURKSAT, the sole communications satellite operator in Turkey. Khabar agency has recently signed an agreement with one of the world's leading satellite communications operators to broadcast its international channel. The broadcast of Kazakh TV on TURKSAT started on August 9th. Kazakhstan's information and educational channel is broadcasting for 20 million TV subscribers of the satellite in Turkey. TURKSAT is the largest operator in Turkey, providing all types of satellite communications. The company provides telecommunication services in a wide territory extending to the satellites of Asia and Africa. Local art masters plan to elevate the art of Kazakhstan to a new level. There are more than 1,000 artists working in the country. According to them, the paintings made by Kazakh artists can become recognizable in the world through participation in international exhibitions and festivals. The organization can organize sessions of outdoor paintings and preview of art exhibitions in the country to attract foreign experts. Kazakh culture and art are very much appreciated abroad, but many people confuse our artists with foreign artists. We have many talented artists. Therefore, we must acquaint people from other countries with the works of our artists, to exhibit their works at international exhibitions and to invite foreign artists. Special attention is drawn to foreign connoisseurs of artwork in the national style. Many artists rely on the rich history, ancient traditions, and bright color of the country of the Great Steppe. The works of Kazakh masters are stored in museums and private collections, not only in Kazakhstan but also in other countries.
Сейчас популярен digital art.
Digital art is currently popular as most artists are involved in contemporary art, which is also known as conceptual art. Many artists experiment with computer graphics as well as with various materials, eco-materials and films. In order to be competitive, people must come to our country to view the exhibitions. We have to invest a lot in this. The Union of Artists believes that the important aspect of the promotion of Kazakh art is the continuous improvement of education and exchange of experience with foreign colleagues. Meanwhile, a group of local artists will take part in a major international festival in China. Well-known singer Yerjan Maxim has started preparing for the International Junior Eurovision contest. The talented performer was able to participate in the contest due to Khabar agency's membership in the European Broadcasting Union and long negotiations the agency conducted with the EBU representatives. Composers are currently working on the repertoire of the 12-year-old singer. The Junior Eurovision contest will be held in the Polish city of Gliwice on November 24th. This year, 19 performers will take part in the contest. The preparation is going very well. I haven't chosen a song that I will perform. I expect that I can fulfill the hope of my nation. Of course, I expect that I will win the competition for Kazakhstan.